What's up, guys? This is Hammer here again, back with another video. Today, I want to talk about the whole Cynthia G situation. It's interesting because I've just I was working, doing my thing, doing my other stuff, and in my YouTube notifications and my YouTube feed, I've been seeing all these videos about Cynthia G, Cynthia G, Cynthia G, Cynthia G. So I kind of clicked on some of them, and it looks like Cynthia G has been essentially deplatformed from YouTube. Now, originally, I heard that she got a strike on her channel from I think a video that was almost 2 years old, and the demonetizer. This is what I heard. This is allegedly, right? Demonetizer, and of course now they have essentially removed all her channels. Even the other channels she created, they removed that too. People are saying that this is just allegation, but people are alleging that the reason for this is because she was going around calling for the abortion of black male babies, and it looks like that may have been too far from YouTube. But it's weird because she's been set up for a very long time, so I don't know why now they want to hold that against her. But that's just allegedly what they're saying. But one thing that is for sure is that she is now been kicked off the platform. First of all, my reaction to this is actually probably going to be different than what some of you guys may expect from me, especially the men. Okay. And the reason because I viewed this a little differently, right? I'm going to talk about this in two parts. First, I'm going to talk about it from the YouTube point of view aspect. Then I'm going to talk about, I think, the black male and how I think black men, there's a different way to look at this situation, and I think what black men are doing. The first aspect, which is the YouTube aspect, look, from the moment I started even watching YouTube, one thing I will constantly hear on this platform was story after story after story of people being demonetized, being kicked out, being striked on. I will hear this constantly. And so subconsciously, something that has always been in the back of my mind is that YouTube is not what I would call a stable platform, meaning that this is not a platform where you actually should be building stuff on in the long term, right? If you build something on YouTube, you need to have what I call a short-term mindset, right? Build it to gain as much as you can for a small amount period of time. That's the mentality you have, because then, if in the future you get demonetized, right, it's not a big deal, right? But you should never look at YouTube as a long-term thing, right? It's not the same thing as, releasing music, for example, right? If you release a song, right, you own the rights to that song. It's probably going to be on those stream platforms till you die, right? It's much more stable, right? It's no so that's how it compares. So releasing music on the platform, releasing music as an independent artist is not the same as, let's say, releasing videos on YouTube. First, you don't even own rights to your videos, because technically, when you sign the user agreements and everything, technically YouTube owns it, and so that's the reason why they can always take it on when they want to, right? So that's the first answer, right? And so for me, I really do hope that Cynthia G did not use her YouTube channel as a source of revenue, or as a source of main revenue. If you want to use YouTube to be a side hustle, a side thing, that's fine. But if you guys notice, when it comes to my channels, because this is my second channel, I had a previous channel called Hammer, which folks who remember me back then, I was getting 1,000 views per stream. It was crazy. That one got taken out, right? But even when my channel had reached its peak, where it was 1,000 live views per stream, I never monetized my channel ever. And when people will ask me, "Hey, yo, your channel's making these great numbers, why isn't it monetized?" I said, because one, I don't want to to be financially tied to YouTube, because I know I've seen how that can backfire in the long term. And two, I also feel like when YouTube goes from being just a hobby to a place of revenue, you approach the platform differently. You treat it differently, and it has too much burn on your life. So for me, I have always made sure that my YouTube stuff, right, has always just been a hobby, because that's what it is for me. I can literally not make a video for a week or two and not care, and just come back another, because it's just a hobby, right? I have stuff in real life, right? I'm about to get an undergraduate degree in real life. My goal is I'm probably gonna get a 200K job in the next 2 years in real life, right? I have things in real life. I have others. I have crypto stuff, right? I have other, stuff. I have other revenue streams in real life that have complete control over, that are not dictated by how somebody feels, right? They're more consistent and permanent. YouTube to me is just a side hustle. It's just something I do for fun. Oh, here's another news break, whatever, right? It's just a side hustle. It's just something I do for fun, right? And so as long as I keep it like that, it benefits me. It allows me to be able to talk about what I want. It allows me to dive into issues the way I want to talk about them. Because if I am not relying on YouTube for any kind of money, I can free talk about things. And also, Cynthia G, in case you were listening, if for whatever reason I get knocked down, it's not a big deal. I can literally wait weeks and bring a new one up. This is my second channel, right? I create a new one, making a video, right? No big deal, all right? So I really do hope that this was not her main source of income, because if it was, like if YouTube was something she used as a large source of income, she's gonna feel this. She's gonna feel this, and it's really gonna hurt. And of course, people are saying, "Well, Cynthia G may go to the platforms." Look, I am someone like when I first launched my first channel, right? I did try to go to platforms. Let me tell you something how things work in the social media space. When you lose a channel on YouTube, it's going to be very difficult for you to take that audience and bring it somewhere else. Most of them are going to steal you. They're not going to log off and go to Twitter. They're not going to log off and go to Rumble. That's not going to happen. Most of them are going to stay on the platform. It's actually much more easier to create another YouTube channel where you can just click a link compared to having to go to a complete new platform. Because then you have to start all over on the people on that platform. So if that's what you think she's trying to do, it's not going to work, right? That's when you get banned from, like when that channel goes down, it hurts. Now, once again, the issue is not that she can't create another channel, because she created another channel. And I believe that the reason why they took it down is because you made another, and this someone said this too, you made another channel while you were still under review. If she would have waited a couple of weeks, right, and let shit die down, weeks or maybe a month, and then create a new one, it would be fine, because at that point it would have passed away. But my assumption is that because she was relying economically on the platform, she couldn't wait. See, I could wait almost 2 or 3 months before I made another channel, and after that long of a time, the YouTube didn't even care anymore because it was so long, right? I just moved from there. That's what you typically do. But if she's trying to make another channel somewhere, it's not going to work out, right? You should have waited until wait a couple of weeks or month for making a new one, right? Making it one that soon while your account is under review backfired. But of course, I understand that you may be still reliant on your account, which is the reason why you felt like you had to do that, which of course backfired, right? And even now that you've been taken out, if you wait a couple of months and you come back on the platform, you may get away with making it pass with that, right? If you wait a couple and let it pass. But based on what I'm saying, this is the downfall of relying economically on YouTube, right? Is that, or I guess, monetizing YouTube is that, it makes you desperate. You can't really do things logically because you're thinking about the money, it also influences your speech, right? Because if money is tied on what you put on YouTube, it's going to influence your speech, right? Right, so that's sort of the YouTube aspect of it, right? Which, because I am a content creator, so I want to give that to it. So obviously, I know guys are celebrating, but let's be honest, as someone who has been, I guess, had my channel deleted before, I don't like celebrating people being the platform and stuff like that. But I do understand why some men will be kind of celebrating, right? But fine. But personally, because here's why, right? Look, Cynthia G being the platform doesn't kill her arguments. All of the women who follow Cynthia G are still alive. They still exist. They're still going to have those views. They're just going to be operating in the shadows. It's like, for example, if YouTube takes down every single black manosphere channel, it's not going to stop black men from being manosphere. All of those black men are still going to have the same idea. They're just not going to be on. So it doesn't solve the issue per se. The goal is to destroy the arguments, not to deplatform the person, because that doesn't solve anything. The people who are listening to them still have the same ideals as the person. So that's why I feel like the men celebrating her deplatform, that's very short-sighted, because once again, her followers are not going to go anywhere. They're still there with the same ideas. So the goal is to destroy the actual ideas, not the channel person, the ideas, right? That's the goal. But now that I think I've covered the YouTube aspect. But yeah, just to kind of wrap up the first part, yeah, that's the reason why you should never allow your YouTube channel to be monetized. I personally say that your goal is to make sure YouTube at most is not monetized and it's just a quote unquote hobby. If you do want to make money on YouTube, you better make sure that you got contingency plans. Okay, don't be like Fresh and Fit, looking stupid out here because you. I'm like, I hope Myron is lying. You literally left Myron. You literally left your good paying job to go on fucking YouTube, a stable, consistent job, right? I believe what it was like a stable, consistent government job that you could have probably been at till you retired. Stable, consistent job, probably good 401k, good picture. You left all that stability that was there for you for years to come to go on YouTube. That shit is dumb to me. What did you think this was gonna last? YouTube to me is fast money, meaning that when your channel is how you make good money, but then when it's not, it's over. For when you build stuff in the real world, it's more consistent. Yeah, the money doesn't come fast, but when it does come, it's consistent and it's long lasting. So I hope that ends up being a warning for everyone. What I would advise you is if you want to make content, make YouTube a side hustle. Don't tie your finances to YouTube, and if you do, make sure it's a short-term thing. Okay, make sure you get your money and demonetize even yourself. Right, make your money so that if you get it monetized, it's not a big deal. So that's the YouTube aspect, right? Let me go into the blackmail aspect. And the men are not gonna like this, and that's fine. But you guys see that's another good thing about not being monetized, right? I can say what I feel and I really care. Black men, we have to really have a conversation about why the situations like this keep happening. And when I say that, I'm talking about why do we keep seeing pattern after pattern after pattern after pattern of black women that used to be, pro-black, or I guess some would say black male identify, right? They start off as pro-black, they start off as black male identify, or I guess, pro-black man, and they just flip. And I've noticed this pattern. Look, if it was just happening to one woman, it wouldn't be a big deal. But this is something I have seen happen a lot. And so I've had to ask myself, okay, why does this keep happening? Why do we keep seeing black women who start off and just flip? Now, of course, you're going to have guys who are going to say, well, it's because of strikes. Because, look, let's be honest here, okay? The entire black manosphere is literally, I would say black men, even the manosphere, right? Is black men who are talking about the negative experiences they've had with black women. And many of the ideals and talking points are a reflection of that. We got to be honest about that. They're a reflection of that. And so the same way I believe that, hey, black men have a right to go out there and express their grievances about the bad experiences, the same right applies to black women too. Let's not pretend as if all black men are just angels. There are guys out here who do game. There are dudes who run the streets. There are guys who all they want to do is pump and dump women. Like, these guys exist. And we can't just, it's like, we complain about the women and how they try to, quote unquote, claim that all black women are perfect and ignore the black women, who put this on child support, the black women, who I guess, act ratchet, the black women who do horrible things, to the men or to the baby father, to the sons, right? Or ignore the fact that many black women will get put right. Like, we complain about the fact that women don't want to hold to account the bad side, right? The quote unquote problematic black women, right? And amongst the group, but yet we won't do it on our side. The same way black women, the same way there are some black women who are problematic and who make black women look bad and who have caused a lot of harm to black men and who are the reason why we have a black manosphere. There are also a lot of black men too who have caused a lot of harm to black women, who are dusty, who are lame, who literally are dudes who are nothing. and who have caused a lot of harm to black women, whether it's through domestic violence, whether it's through cheating, whether it's through baby momism. And these black women with these bad experiences go out there and project that. Two of those things are true. But it seems like both sides now don't want to acknowledge this. The female side wants to pretend as if it's only bad men out here, but there's no bad black women out here. And the male side wants to pretend as if it's only bad black women, but there are no bad black males. No. You have the quote unquote, ratchet black females, the black females who want to be feminists. You have that on the female side. And on the male side, you have the game dudes, the thug dudes, the street. We have those things. And I personally believe that we have to be fair here. If black men have a right to talk about the bad experience they've had with some black women, they've encountered, black women have the right to talk about the bad experience they've had with some black males, right? Because they do exist. I think what's happened, the conversation has become so extreme, but it's like now everyone's being, generalized, right? But going back to the whole black male situation, what we got to talk about is, why do we keep seeing this though? That's the thing I'm starting to notice. Chrissy began her YouTube career as being pro-black male, right? In fact, she was being accused of being black identified. Cynthia G, right? The same Cynthia G that black men are happy her being deplatformed. Because once again, whether it was Cynthia G or BGS or Angry Man, I don't like supposed being deplatformed. Once again, when you deplatform someone, you don't defeat their ideas. The people who follow them still exist, right? Whether it's Chrissy, right? She started off being pro-black male. Cynthia G, the one everyone men are celebrating, second time. Cynthia G began as being pro-black male. A lot of people don't know that. That's how she began, right? Paris Milan, same thing, pro-black male. She started off that way. Amy Loho, pro-black male. Okay, even Princella, the new black female phenomenon. That's been getting viral right now. Because she's a woman. She literally is. Princella, in my opinion, is a perfect example of I think, how this happens, right? She started off as a pro-black. She started off being pro-black male. She talked about she has been fucked over by black men so much that she ended up literally in a situation where now she's scissoring other women. She started off being pro-black male, pro-black people, right? Taz literally has videos of her doing this. And it's funny because even Taz, even the women are now starting to turn on Taz, which is funny. But you see the videos. She started off being pro-black male, but she had so many bad experiences with black men, right? Which I can't deny, right? Because I know the shit dudes out here, because I've encountered them myself. She has so many bad experiences that now it's radicalized to such a point where now she is scissoring other women. That's how you can hear it in her voice. I don't go to male space. You can hear her voice. And even when she talks, and the crazy part is she has taken the persona of many of the men who have wronged her. You can see in the way she talks. She's a great example of someone who's emotionally broken. Okay? And so when I see this example, I say, we have to be honest. I feel like I was asking myself, why do I keep seeing this pattern of black women who begin being pro-black male, but yet somehow, somewhere become radicalized, right? I understand why it happens for the men, right? That the men grow up, they grow up in a situation where it's a majority single mothers. They grow up in a community where they feel like the Pookie and Ray Ray and the thugs are getting picked over the nice dudes or the educated dudes. They feel like black women are on the feminist side. I already know why the men feel the way they do, right? But why do the women feel it? Why do they flip? Why do they start off as being pro-black men and flip? And I think one theory I have, right? I think one theory I have was when just politics happened. I'm not saying just politics caused it. What I'm saying is that the way black men react to that situation may actually explain why it ends up like this, right? Here you have a situation of just politics where you had black women like Six the Goddess. I think is who's the other one? I forgot who do. You have Six the Goddess and this other black woman who's very much pro-black male, very much black male identified, right? Always on black man's corner. Just pulling things a white female. Attacks black people. Talk about, slavery, doesn't really matter that much. Laughs, talk about, oh, he's black, makes racial insensitive jokes, right? And what I see, and this is the reason why I actually broke from BGS, I see black men throw black women under the bus for just pulling things. Black men throw black women under the bus for just putting things. Not just any of them. They even threw the black women who were on the corner. Threw over Six the Goddess. Threw over, I'm like, these are black women who essentially have been advocating for them. And I'm like, what is wrong with you? One of the, these women who go out here and defend black men, right? They get called mammies. They get attacked. I see it. And one of the main criticisms that they receive from other black women is that, you should not support black men because no matter what you do, they'll throw you over the bus for a non-black female. And of course, they will argue against that. I argue against that. But the crazy part is that you guys legitimize these claims when you guys chose to side with just pretty things. Where a random white woman who you guys don't even know, who's never even advocated for you, who's probably more white male. She's probably more white male identified. But here you are throwing over the bus the black women who have been advocating for you for a very long time for this random white chick. That's what I can't do. I said, you guys just legitimize all the anti-black male criticism. That it doesn't matter what black women do, they can be perfect. A non-black female can come through and y'all will throw a black woman on the bus. She could literally do everything right and it wouldn't be good enough. And that's when I say, you know what? If this is how black men reacted to just pretty things, I can only imagine how they would react to a situation. I said, if black men had a similar reaction with these other women, this may explain why they flipped. If this is how black men would be, if this is how black men will betray the black women who stand up for them, will side with them, I can only imagine that for a lot of these other black women like Cynthia G, Chrissy, a lot of these other black women who started off as being pro-black male, they got betrayed so much by black men. They saw so many examples of black men pedestalizing non-black women over them that it's like, why am I going so hard for these men? Where, think about it, for example, a white female can literally call a cop on a black dude. Jonathan Majors right now is literally losing his fucking career because of his ex-white girlfriend. They go out of the way to fuck over black men. And yet black men will give white women over and over and over again second chances. But let a black female be loyal to a dude, to a black male, support a black male, literally advocate for you. And it's never good enough. It's never good enough. And all it takes is for a Becky, a Ling Ling, a Maria to walk the door, and you guys will throw her on the bus. How do you think that makes them feel? I feel like this conversation needs to be had. Instead of you talking about Cynthia G, talk about what made Cynthia G flip. What caused Cynthia G to go from being pro-black male, pro-black people to where she is now? What causes all these women to go from being I love black men to now divesterism? I remember in 2015, 2014, where on YouTube Spaces, all I could see was videos of black women saying I love black men. Everywhere. How did we go from that to divester bullet bags? We can't just blame the women for everything. There has to be some accountability with the men too. There has to be some accountability. It's not just the women's fault. There's a lot of dudes out here who are not shit. There's a lot of dudes out here who all they want to do is spend time spitting game all day, spitting red pill all day, don't got anything going on. See, this is why I separate myself. The black men on this side, the black men who are going to be on Hammer's channel are going to be the black men who are going to be, about building, about producing, about traditional patriarchal values, about, prioritizing their women, and about being loyal to the women who are loyal to us. That's how I operate. I will be loyal to the black women who are loyal to me. The black women who are loyal to black men, we're going to be loyal to them. You're never going to see a situation where, hell, Hell, I could literally have an argument. I'm gonna give you an example, right? I'm gonna give you an example. During my I have to go ahead and wrap this up because I have to. Technically, I'm not supposed to be recording right now because I'm technically on campus, right? But I'm up. I remember when I first came in my freshman year of college, right? I was a black woman, very beautiful, everything. I think she was a black American. I'm not sure, but I'm like just so feminine. Even till this day, the most feminine woman I've ever encountered was that black female in ninth grade. During my freshman year of college, right? I'm not gonna say her name, right? That's right. I mean, we were essentially in what was the class again? Chemistry, right? Chemistry and everything, and so let's say she was so feminine, and it's like when she looked at me, there was sort of this, because at the campus we were in, it was a lot of Hispanics for the most part, now black people. So there was sort of this, like, man, when your woman looks at you, when your female counterpart looks at you, when you look into her eyes, you can actually tell how she views your group, right? When a black woman genuinely loves and appreciates black men, when you interact with her, when you talk with her, you can actually see it within her eyes. You can. You can see it within her eyes. Okay? You can see her eyes sparkle. You can see all that stuff, right? And when I looked into the girl, I could see that I was one of the very few, probably other black dudes black people on campus. So she felt really good. Oh, not a black person. No, you could see her eyes. It felt amazing having your female counterpart look at you like that. I don't even think she was. I think she was Black American. But here's so crazy, bro, right? A situation occurred, right, where you had this, I think, white Hispanic from Venezuela, and we were in the chemistry lab. The white Hispanic female was just berating her, and she started, engaging in sort of I would call racially demeaning language. Oh, this is why I don't like dealing with black people. The white Venezuelan girl, talked about black people, and then she immediately thought of black women. So here I am in the lab, seeing this Venezuelan female berating another black woman, talking about how bad black women are to her face and everyone, berating her. I felt so mad, so angry. I went up there and I just, I intervened. I said, no, we can't do that, right? And of course, what was shocking is that it wasn't even that the Venezuelan girl was shocked. The black woman was shocked. I believe that a lot of black women now, and by the way, this happened because right now I'm my senior year. This happened almost 3 years ago. I believe that a lot of black women, they have become so accustomed now to black men pedestalizing non-black women, to black men not standing for them, that when they do see a black man do that, they're in shock. She was in shock. She didn't want to do that. I said, no, I could just sit here and let this white Venezuelan to braid you. No, we ain't gonna do that. Right? And the admiration was there. Right? Now, of course, I think she had to go and, transfer to some other place. But, she, in my life, and I've said before, that was probably the most feminine I've ever seen in my life. If somebody asks Hammer, who is the most feminine woman you ever encountered in your life? It was a black female. Even to this day, I have not met a non-black woman who even is close to that. But now I have met ratchet black women. That's fine, right? Those exist, right? But in terms of the black women, in terms of if you were to ask me, if you were to ask me, hey, Hammer, what is the most feminine black woman you've met? I would more likely say a black female, right? That's what I would say. But nevertheless, right, the point of what I'm trying to say here, the whole point of what I'm trying to say, and guys, sorry if my volume goes down. I have to keep my voice a little low here. I told you guys I'm at your campus. But the point I'm trying to say here is that it's not just the woman's fault. It can't be just the woman's fault. And we have to start asking ourselves, why is it that black men specifically are so quick to throw the women under the bus for non-black women. Why? Why does this happen? And not just that, they will do this to black women who are on their corner, who admire them, who love them, who support them, who actually advocate for them, but it's not good enough. I have dudes would argue me down about supporting black women who are pro-black men. But let a white female walk into a room, all of a sudden now they're all on their knees. Becky, we're not doing that anymore. But with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and leave it at that. Let me know what you guys think in the chat. Whether you disagree, how you feel. But I have a different take on this. But I personally believe that Cynthia, although black men hate Cynthia G is our fault. She really is. She started off being pro-black male. She started off being pro-black. But because I believe a lot of black men, will go out of the way to tear down the female counterpart, will go the way to pedestalize other women over their own women, this is how they get radicalized. This is how a Cynthia G can go from being pro-black male, pro-black, people to this. But it makes sense, right? When you love somebody and that person betrays you or tears you down, that love becomes greater hatred. It's not complicated. These women began loving black men. These women began loving black men's, everything about them. And so when they felt like black men betrayed them, betrayed their love, that love for black men became even a stronger hatred. That's where it comes from. With that being said, y'all, sorry I had to keep my voice a little down. Y'all know I'm on campus right now. But y'all can hear what I was saying, though. But with that being said, y'all, tell me what you guys think in the chat. But yeah, my statement is very clear. Cynthia G, many diverse, all these stuff is a product of black men repeatedly putting non-black women over the women, right? I'm not even talking about black women who bash black men. I'm talking about black women who advocate for you. You guys will throw over the bus black women who advocate for you and then be surprised when they get tired of advocating for black men just to be stabbed in the back by black males. And you're surprised that they're somewhere talking about bullet bags or abort black male babies. We have to be honest here. It's not just the women. The women have problems, but the men have problems too. But anyway, I'll let you guys know. Like, share, subscribe, hammer out.